Your comparison of that day you had brought the hamburger home and then also bought some meat on your own and some potatoes and vegetables, if I'm remembering right, is that's an important part of this conversation. Is there a lot of people have lost interest in cooking, and then there's almost like an adjacent conversation that to cook your own food takes inordinate amounts of time, right? I almost think that's another one of these sort of false gaps, right? You don't need to go from going through the drive-through to cooking like Martha Stewart, right? Like you can do things like roast potatoes, steam potatoes, and add a little butter. Cook rice, cooking beef, cooking chicken, cooking fish is very easy. Doesn't take a lot of time. Many of these things can be cooked in bulk and leftovers made and all of that. But even conceding that cooking your own food does take some more time, I think that's a conversation worth having, because time is sort of what you spend time on is what you value, right? And if we value our well-being, we must come back to valuing food. And if we value food, we must be able to make some time in our day for cooking food, or we're lying to ourselves about what we value, right? Because if we can spend hours scrolling social media or watching Netflix or whatever it is and say there's no time for food preparation around here, I think that's just a conversation we have to disrupt. Within an individual's life or a family's life, there's ways to share these duties, and not to be dramatic, but I think we sort of need to make cooking sacred again. We just sort of need to make it part of our lives and not just a chore. It's fun to, I don't know about.
Oh, for sure.
Like to hang out in the kitchen and you got some music playing and someone's cooking over here and someone's cooking over here. And I actually think, to your point, Shawn, about being able to, having it sort of be intuitive or instinctual to look at a plate of food and be able to tell if it's nutritious or not. I think, having sort of like a food culture in your community and your family is innate to us. And we're living in this strange time where it's all been outsourced. And we've been led to believe that we can live a life where we just sort of, all we do is sort of grab convenience food and eat, and we don't need to have a more intricate relationship with food than that. And I actually don't think we can eat well and support our well-being without having some sort of a more sacred relationship with food. I know that's a little out there, but I can tell.
No, cooking together creates community, in my opinion. Well, and if you look at what we did for generations and generations, that's what we did.